Now, I was just told, just because you don't want to do something doesn't mean you avoid me and the opportunity that you should be taking to take that posture in your heart. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. A lot of people need help. So your briefing for tonight. Um, went outside, noticed some things. You have principalities. They are attached to demons and people. They will speak to you. What you need to be cognizant of is once they speak to you, that spirit is trying to get your spirit to become angry and turn into a as close as version of that demon for as long as possible. If you don't catch it, you're going to get into a I'm going to easily take offense mode. So you need to watch out for that. That is going to be magnified across the entire earth. As we have seen in our kingdom marriages, the prodigal is usually their easy target. Then the prodigal brings that mindset and darkness into the home, attacks the kingdom spouse, and you guys have officially had your marriage demonically surveyed, targeted, and then approached in a malicious manner with the intent to divide you. So you're going to see a lot of that across the earth. I have intervened in a few church shootings. I have put an end to a few things because I stated you have 3 months. But warnings have been issued to prodigals. Warnings have been issued in a lot of different ways where I've stopped something with my hand. After 3 months, I will no longer be doing that. It's mainly for those that are still in that small place of, I don't want to offend God. This could be wrong. At this point, you are wrong. The fact you have a kingdom spouse, the fact you have my prophets, and the love that's coming from my prophets is emanating, resonating, and the kingdom is expanding and growing in numbers. Second, you should be wary of Christians that emit no actual presence of God or light. Know the difference between he will appear as an angel of light, which should not be happening too much anymore. That power was stripped. But still, when you're looking back at how you were deceived and who you thought was godly, and then as time progressed, the wolves in sheep clothing were exposed, and you were either feeling let down or in a place of, okay, now I see the truth. That's part of having your eyes opened and your ears able to hear my voice. As prophecy continues to unfold, it will increase your faith. Your main objective, again, your assignment, your kingdom spouse, your kingdom marriage, to get married on paper. The steps that you'll be taking, I will be directing you through to teach you, but also for your testimony. And then when you're giving your testimony and teaching others, it will be ingrained in you. You'll have a different mindset towards things, which is why I said stay inside as much as possible. You want to cultivate the love in your marriage. That's what you should be focused on. Prodigals, you should be going home. You should be home right now. This has been 3 years. I was not kidding. I'm not going to have my kingdom spouses in this place of, I can't do anything because the Lord keeps telling me to wait. No, July is going to be a huge month. A lot of things are going to be happening to where you will be active. Now, your rest, and you will need it, is for your replenishment, your love, your happiness, the more joy and love and peace that people are emanating. It's going to be that little bit of light that's going to attract people, but you need to be looking at it as if it's going to be the walking dead. That's what a tribulation basically is, when they're dead and they don't know it. So you won't be able to really do much for them. You won't be involved with that. You will be supporting others like yourselves, other kingdom marriages. Everybody's going to have the same testimony. That's how you're going to be able to tell the difference. Now, as far as the mark of the beast and how it happened 2,000 years ago, people did attempt to infiltrate and pretend. You saw the Ananias and Sapphira thing. This is going to be remarkably different, because as they start dying spiritually, it's going to double their frustration and their anger, because they already came to the Lord, so they thought. It didn't work for them, so they will be without hope. They will need to find something else to put their hope in. The demon is going to lead them to all kinds of things that bring them joy as their true selves emerge. Without my spirit, you will notice that's who this person became. No, that is who that person always was. There has been a transfer of power to myself, of course, but there is a lot more going on. As they continue to have to find something to live for, you will see some really evil behavior that they give themselves away to. Sin is a very dark place to engage in. And once they go into that dark place and they get addicted to it, that's going to be worldwide. That's going to produce so much darkness and misery, as they will be miserable and in guilt. And then doing whatever they can to remove that guilt. And it will turn into a hardened heart, and they will see nothing wrong with what they are doing. Because then the devil is going to get involved. Now, when the devil gets fully involved, and that won't be for 3 months because I'm holding it at bay, then it's going to turn really into being able to justify whatever they're doing, because the devil is going to tell them that they're okay. Now, when you have these deceiving spirits, the lying spirit, the familiar spirit that's coming out of the dragon's mouth, and I'll quote again. And we already have had the revealing of that. The spiritually unprepared would be the prodigals, but I have returned. Now, keeping you away from all of that is how we foresaw the term, I know a man that was taken up into the third heaven. Paul's, of course, speaking about Peter. So that all came from something that has occurred before. This is normal. It happened 2,000 years ago. It's a spiritual heavenly state when you're taken into the air. Not everyone was to remain alive. Some would be raised to life, judged, condemned, back to sleep. So that's what that 3 months is for. Prodigals, you were on the tipping point. So this is a second chance for you. I've already seen the outcome. So I take the steps each day to make sure I was just, I was fair, and everybody received the same truth, and then made the decision based on what's in their heart. It will tell, because the scripture says out of the mouth flows the abundance of the heart, and also the heart is desperately wicked. That's where you find the sexual immorality, murder, adultery, the things you prodigals have committed. Until you actually receive forgiveness from your kingdom spouse, I'm going to keep bringing it up and I'm going to keep convicting you. So the quicker you get back to your kingdom spouse, you'll be happier, starting your life where you're supposed to be, which is the first uh, thing that I pretty much said in the gospel. Whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And you believe based on what you desire to believe. So then when you don't want to believe, then you're kind of stuck because it's still true. My bloodline still goes to the Levant, still from the tribe of Judah, still the king of Israel. So, God of Israel. Now, as this continues and it gets darker and darker and darker, the normal state of emptiness and depression is a thing of the past. It's going to turn demonic. People's, this generation's arrogance, for the most part, is too great for them to ever consider, well, maybe I did something wrong, to the point they may think of anything too much involving self-harm due to the fear of that. So they will be turning to something. They will need to become something for some type of self-worth. Then the world is going to accept that over what we are doing. To keep us out of the persecution is mostly we do our thing online, YouTube, and we keep to ourselves. There's not going to be an ability to really be ministering the gospel. It's not for that. This is the tribulation. They're going to be left behind. They were already left behind. This is the great tribulation. It's designed to separate. You're going to have heaven. You're going to have hell. There's going to be people that prefer their hell. It's not going to go back and forth. Within 3 months, this will all be decided. So the spiritually alive will thrive, be happy for my name's sake, and as it is their reward. Shielded from all of these other things that people are going through, because it will not be to our advantage, plan, or even ability to be reaching out to them. There's going to be a divide, and we're going to keep to ourselves and then survive, flourish, thrive. The regeneration of God's people, that is who we are. So lovers of God, not lovers of self. And all of that is part of what you are learning right now, prodigal, so that when you take your place in your marriage as father, as mother, that you not only have the testimony to encourage others not to do what you did, but my graciousness, my kindness, my goodness of how I molded you and pulled you out of your hell because I love you. So when the time does come and we say the waters dissipate, which is not going to happen in this life, but your little ones and the ones watching will be inspired, and it will keep spreading as the misery pushes people more and more towards repentance. At that time, people will take more of a stance. Maybe God will hear me if I turn back to him. And there will be different thought processes on that, because I don't see that lasting long. We've already seen the stages that a human usually goes through and how long the seed is going to actually grow, and whether we're going to continue to cultivate that? And the answer is no. So this really is 3 months of decision. Now, you've already gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth so much that it was utilized to, of course, strengthen whoever you attacked, persecuted, stole from, lied about, falsely accused, whatever behavior you had engaged in when you were against God. So the recompense and then vengeance on the ungodly is part of the tribulation. It's just one move that just settles everything. It needs to happen and it will. So don't be a part of it, is what I'm saying. If you're not in your kingdom marriage, you will be a part of it. That's your briefing for today.